going to talk to you all about ducks. Hopefully the reason why will become apparent and less terrifying as we go through. I'm going to take you a little bit of the story about how the Duck Project was developed, and hopefully there'll be a reason why that's relevant. So first off, here is a picture of me. As you can tell, I was once so very much younger, but things changed, eh? And when I was younger, I used to be a setting out engineer and then a site manager, and I loved my job. I loved working in the construction industry. Concrete, rebar, cranes are three of the happiest things to my sweet little heart. But what I didn't love was the experience that I had in the sector. Now, some of those experiences were to do with my gender, but others weren't. Some were just to do with, I don't know, not particularly enjoying working a 60-hour week and then working for free on a Sunday in environments that were high pressure and didn't seem to give me the support that I needed. So what I did in 2007 is I started to think about some of these and ended up going to start my own business. That's why I've missed it. But before I did, I noticed something. I noticed that the things that people were doing around my gender, around equality and diversity, nearly always seemed to make my life harder. When people went away on equality and diversity training, they mostly came back furious at me because they thought I'd lost them the day, especially if that training was based on either the law or people telling them what they should and shouldn't say. When I got a job once, 4 years setting out experience, and I later found out that it was because a client had a KPI for equality. I was given a role without responsibility. It was basically an admin task. Does anybody think that I was a happy and productive member of that team? Raise your hands if you think I was a right real pain in the arse. So I was. And this is an important point because we talk about diversity and the golden diversity of us, and it's going to magically make companies better. It's not. You can't just add people and stir. Unhappy people don't make the business any better. Inclusion is part of what makes your business better. And then finally, Women in Construction Days. I went to one of those. I was really excited. I met in 2007 3 other female site managers. Felt like I'd stumbled across a field of freaking unicorns. But one of the challenges there was that they asked us what our experiences were, and they asked us how to solve them, as if we'd be in that room if we knew. And then they sent us on our merry way, with no solutions, no idea how to make anything better, but a massive sense of foreboding that this was now a hell of a lot bigger than us. So I figured what I'd do is I'd start a business as an engineer, just fix the problem, and then get back to building some things. It's been 12 years later. Sometimes wonder if I'm any good. So the first thing that I did is I looked to see, well, outside of construction, are things any better? And do you know what I found out? No. Research tells us that our traditional approaches to equality are not working, time and time again. And so my business, I undertook first a master's, now I'm forever in the last year of a PhD. And what my business does is it focuses on inclusion, but mostly fairness. And what we do is a basic, simple premise, which is this. If you work for an organisation that you deem to be unfair, you tend to work in a manner that's individualistic. You don't trust your organisation to get you where you need to go. Well, you need to look after yourself and get yourself there, don't you? When we work in environments like that, we tend to work in individualistic ways, and we tend to be more frightened of difference. We don't know what it is, we don't know what it can do, it scares us a little bit, even if we don't know we're doing it. Now imagine if someone drops an equality and diversity initiative into that environment, something that looks like it's going to give a different group of people the upper hand. Anyone reckon that's going to work out well? But there is hope, there is always hope. If we work for an organisation that we do think is fair, that we do trust to get us to where we want to go, we tend to work in a very different way. We tend to work collectively. We tend to work for the best of the organisation, not ourselves as individuals. In those environments, we value difference. We bring it on. Start to put equality and diversity initiatives in those environments, people see them in a very, very different way. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. My business is doing rather grand, and to be honest, it's not something that I need to market. But a few years ago, I was asked to give a talk at the Women in Construction conference. Don't worry, it'll be applicable to all of you guys that have different bits and bobs down in your other regions. And when I was going to give that talk, I thought about telling people about this, about what my business did in more detail. And then I thought, why would I can tell a room full of 900 women what their organisations could be doing, but probably won't. Seemed just like a really good way to piss a group of people off. So I thought, what can I do that will give people something that they can use? Individuals, something that they can take forward. And luckily, the reason that I couldn't do the talk that year was because I was due to give birth to a baby the week before, and I spent 6 months breastfeeding, so I had plenty of time to think. And I came up with, obviously, the Duck Project. So organisations do not know the barriers women encounter. Now I'm going to use women here because it's easy for examples, but you know what? This sentence is also true. Organisations do not know the barriers their employees encounter. They just don't. Sometimes they think they do, but I've yet to find one that truly does. And the reason they don't know is because we as employees do not tell them. If we face bullying, if we face inappropriate behaviour, even if it's a boss who's not very good at managing people, we tend to stay quiet. Now that's either because maybe we're worried about what will happen to us, even sometimes we're worried about what will happen to the person that's behaving inappropriately. Other times it's because we've said something before and nothing's ever been done about it. Sometimes, like me, my reaction to some really harsh environments was to drink more, quite frankly. I was sick more, I came into work more late. So what's the bad behaviour of someone else? And what's me? It's confusing and it's hard. And sometimes it seems that there's more reasons not to say anything than there is to say something. Employees generally end up in one of two situations. Either they make a formal complaint, or they stay silent, they do nothing, just eventually leave the organisation. So I figured there could be a third solution, and that is the Duck Project. So the Duck Project needed to be easy to use, easy to understand, easy to implement, and hopefully it's that. Let me talk you through it. I want you to imagine a duck is a unit of energy, okay? Suspend some belief here for me. Now imagine something slightly annoying, not even that much, just takes away one duck. And by the way, if you're please let me know by your face when you work out what those ducks really are. Okay? Imagine something really frustrating, maybe that makes you want to leave the workplace, is 7 ducks. Okay? So, if you acknowledge any of these experiences, feel free to stick your hand up, or don't if you're feeling shy and tired. So imagine we start the day with 30 ducks to give. Okay? Here. Maybe we drive to work, we get stuck in traffic. Yeah, a bit of an altercation, might take away 3 ducks. Perhaps we get into work and our boss has a go at us about something that's not even our fault. 6 ducks. Maybe the printer doesn't work again. 1 duck. Just something, always looking at. Just something very small that's building up. Maybe the client wants something tomorrow that you knew that you had 2 weeks to deliver. 4 ducks. Maybe you yourself make an error. 3 ducks. Now, I want you to think about if you belong to a separate group. I'm going to use women in construction, only because that's where my experiences lie, but feel free to think about any group that you may or may not belong to, and it doesn't have to be like a visual group, it could be being the only quantity surveyor on a building site. Okay? Just anything that gives you a difference of experience. And when we belong to these groups, sometimes we have different experiences to everybody else. So maybe I go into a meeting and people refer all the questions to my male assistant, and not me. 1 duck, not the end of the world. Perhaps in that meeting, I put forward an idea, and everyone kind of politely acknowledges it, but nothing else. Oh, then my male colleague repeats it word for word. It gets discussed and minuted as his. I've been in both boards that are in rooms that are entirely male and mixed. This has never happened to me in a mixed room. Not once. And for those that think I should speak up, I think we may have gathered by now that is not an issue for me. Okay. When we start to get less than 10 ducks, this is basically the beginnings of stress, especially if this happens a lot of the time on the days. We're starting to worry about how many ducks we've got left. It distracts us from what we should actually be thinking about. This, by the way, is my actual baby, 2 weeks old. Yeah, thinks I'm a great mum. Okay, so somebody swears in the workplace in front of me. No ducks. Okay. But then someone apologises for swearing in front of a lady. Not in front of a human, not because it's not professional, but because my delicate little lady can't handle it. And it reminds me that I'm seen as a woman first and an engineer second. And I don't need reminding. Perhaps someone questions my capability again because I'm a woman, and in a project-based environment when I've got to prove this time and time again, 4 ducks. Maybe I'm given just that little bit more admin than my colleagues. 2 ducks. Maybe someone makes a sexist joke. That is the face we tend to pull. 1 duck. My colleagues laugh. 1 duck. And now I have no ducks left to give. And my client refers to my colleague by his name and me as love, and I freaking lose it. And someone turns around and tells me not to be so sensitive, and I'm not being sensitive. But nobody understands. I don't understand. I don't usually behave that way. I used to smoke back then, it was helpful. It's about the build-up of things. Sociologists, psychologists will call these microaggressions. I prefer death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's these small things that build up each day and every day that have a big and weighty impact on us. People always think that discrimination is one big bad thing done by big bad people. It's not. It's the way that we all interact with each other on a daily basis. We're mostly a bit useless. We don't know any better. It's not the end of the world. But we do need to start being able to talk about it. We do need to be able to start recognising it. And I also think that there's something to be gained from it. So, not only am I a woman, I'm also from a council house down south. I'm aware I sound posh now. I'm not. And the reason that I tell you this is there were a lot of things that I had to overcome during my early days that were hard and that were horrible. And things that I had to deal with being a woman on site that were also hard and also horrible. But they have made me incredibly strong, incredibly resilient, incredibly prepared to face different varieties. All of the things that were the hardest have taught me the things that have the greatest impact on my life now. I think it's Warren Buffett that says that difficult situations either define you, destroy you, or make you stronger. And so I thought, what if, instead of when we face these difficult situations, no matter where they come from, what if instead of being swallowed up by them, we made an active choice to learn from them? We used them, a bit like an army boot camp, to develop our skills, to create greater emotional intelligence, and to learn how to lead others. Because for me, the worst things that have ever happened to me have absolutely taught me the most. And the way that I think we can do this is kind of simple. It's first by identifying what's going on. We've got to be able to talk about these things that are happening to us without being told we're weak, without being told that we're imagining it, just being told that it's okay to just explain there's just a slight difference of experience. Then we can start to understand what's happening to us. And it's only by understanding that we can actually then start to address. So I'm going to give a quick example of that. Say the thing that you identify is that you're not necessarily getting past an interview stage. I'm going to stick with women in construction again. It's an easy example for me, but again, you can use this anyway. Now, a lot of people will talk about women not having enough confidence. Oh, bless. Not true. Men generally tend to be overconfident. Women haven't got too little, they've got quite an adequate amount, thank you very much, in the main. But the problem that we have, people will often hear this statistic about men going forward for jobs when they've ticked only 70% of boxes, and women when they've ticked 100%. Yeah? So women should just put themselves forward more. It's not the case. We need to understand what's happening here. Okay? Women that tend to feel they have to tick 100% of boxes because they've learned from experience what happens if they don't. And also, if you think about these interview rooms, interviews, especially in construction, mine has usually been a panel full of men who've ticked about 70% of boxes. So they're expecting me to kind of build it up a bit. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I've ticked 100%, they'll know that I can achieve. It's not really surprising that I don't get the job, is it? Let's add something else into the mix. We tend to imagine where men are going to go. It harks back to the days where our partnerships were mostly based on men being providers and women, well, you know, making the babies. So we look at where women have been. And we don't mean to, and by the way, this isn't evil men being nasty to the ladies. This is men and women. This is a societal problem. Okay? And so if you can imagine in that room, we've got men being seen where they want to go, and women having to prove where they've been and that they can show stuff. Now the thing is, if we know all of this, we can actually start to impact upon it. We can go in and just create the understanding that we have done enough to achieve that job and give measures that are financial and accountable, because that's usually what people want to hear, and then paint an image of where we want to go. By understanding really the challenges we face, we can start to create different things that will help us to address them. But if we wander along blindly, that simply isn't going to happen. And like I said, I know I've spoken about women in construction, but this really does apply to any group. So, if you want to be involved, because like I say, this isn't part of my day job. This is just a talk that I gave that suddenly became weirdly popular, and so I figured I had to do something with it. And so I really want to try and create something that gives employees a way to overcome the challenges they're facing, especially if they don't feel they're supported by their organisations. In saying that, I'm also putting it hold for 4 months while I finish my PhD. But if you want to be involved, please go to the website, which will be on the next slide, and sign up, or share on social media, or let me know after the event. What I'm really looking to do is to find a space for people to be able to take charge of their careers and be able to move them forward, not simply be guided by who it is that they work for, which often just isn't enough. So, if you want to give a duck, I'm so sorry, I just really love puns, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you.